Want to learn how to draft a perfect standing bustier? In this tutorial, I'll be sharing with you guys a step-by-step method on how to do so. Let's get started. So on a plain sheet of paper, I went ahead to mark a horizontal line which is going to serve as my shoulder line, alright, and I also went ahead to mark a vertical line which is going to serve as my center front. Okay, I don't always like to start from the edge of the paper, so that we don't have any issues of it not being equal. So I'll go ahead to mark my neck point, sorry, my neck width rather, and I also go ahead to mark my shoulder divided by 2. And after doing that, I will go ahead to also mark my neck depth. Sorry guys, I don't know what I'm saying. I'll go ahead and mark my neck depth, which is 3 inches. So I'm using 3 by 3. And on the shoulder point, I came down by 1 inch to form our shoulder slope, and I'll connect that to the neck width. Okay, and after doing that, we are going to determine our armhole line. I believe you know how to do this. If you don't know how to draft a basic bodice, please kindly check our video on how to draft a basic bodice. All right, so for you to get your armhole line, you divide your bust by 6 plus 1.25, and that's just what I did here. And on that point, I also just measure what my shoulder point is. Why we are doing this is just so we have a straight line, okay, for our armhole line. So I'm just going to connect those lines together. So that is now our armhole line. Okay, it is not yet an armhole curve, it's just a line for a guide, for you to be able to get your armhole curve. So I'll extend the line, I'll extend the horizontal line, and that horizontal line is now our chest line, while the vertical one, which is our armhole line. I hope that is understood. So that is our armhole line, and then the other one is our chest line. You can decide to extend your chest line to the other side, but I just don't like doing that because it's not really necessary. So after doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and input my other measurements. I'll go ahead to mark my shoulder to my bust or my nipple, shoulder to underbust, and shoulder to my waist. All right, so after doing that, I'll go ahead to just connect all the points together, and that is what I'm just going to go ahead to label the points. The first, which is my bust line, the other one is my under bust, and the last one is my waist point of my waistline. So after labeling that, the next thing we're going to do is to get our nipple to nipple, which is also known as our bust band measurement. Okay, my bust band I'll be using is 8 inches divided by 2, which is 4. So before then, I went ahead to connect my neck to get my neck curve. Okay, so I'll go ahead to mark my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches, and that's what I'm marking on the bust line, on the bust, and also on the waistline. Now I'll go ahead to divide my shoulder width into 2. Okay, we're going to be making use of our shoulder, that's all. So I'll just go ahead to measure what I have there and divide it into 2. Then I'll go ahead to connect the point. I'll connect the shoulder point line to the bust line, to the under bust, and as well to the waistline. Okay, so after doing that, we're going to go ahead and start doing our under bust contouring. Now it depends on how deep you want your cup to be or your bustier to be. Sometimes what determines how much you should take here is also your difference between your back waistline and the front waistline. That's your bust dart. How wide your bust dart is will determine how much you should take on your under bust. Okay, me, I'm on a busty side, and my bust dart is also about 2 or 3 inches. So I don't want it to be too deep, and I'm not doing bust caging. All right, so I'll go ahead to just use 1.5. I think I use 1.5 on one side, and the other side ½ inch. So in total, what I use is 2 inches. If you don't want yours to even be as deep as mine, you can go ahead to do lesser. That is if your bust that is big. But if your bust that is big, sorry, if your bust that is not that big, like the difference between your front and your back is not that much, and you still want your cup to be deep, then you can go ahead to take more on the under bust, like you contour more. Do you understand what I mean? So after doing that, on the bust line, I came down by 1 inch, and then I'll just connect all those points together. While we are coming down from the bust line by 1 inch is because we do not want any pointy edge. We are just trying to make that bust point to look round. Okay, we want our cup to look round, so you avoid connecting directly to the bust line. All right. So now, having done that, we're going to determine how our cleavage, or how covered we want our bustier to be. I don't know why I keep saying cup. Now for my own, I measured from my underbust to how covered I want it to be, which it was 7 inches. And now I just measured for what it is from the shoulder line down, which is 7 inches. So it depends. You can decide to measure from the shoulder line to where you want it to be, or from the underbust upwards. All right, however you take your measurement. And then for the cleavage on the neck point, I came down by 5.5. I think I eventually used 5.5. That is how deep I want my sweetheart neckline to be. So it depends on your preference and how you want it. Now on that shoulder line, or that line we connected, I'm just going to contour that place. Like we have to tighten it so our bustier is going to be firm. So you can contour from 0.5 to 1 inch, depending on how much bust or how busty you are. So for me, I did 0.75. You can go ahead and do 1 inch if you're more busty. Okay, so like I always say, go up by 1 inch from the bust line. Do not connect anything you're doing, just make sure you're avoiding that bust line. You don't want that point to look pointy. Okay, so your bust doesn't look funny. So I'm going to go ahead to connect this point. Now if you did your um curve correctly, you will see that when you place your curve rule to the other side, everything will just match. All right, so you see what I have there. So after connecting that, I also go ahead to connect the other side, and you can see how my curve is stopping like 1 inch or 0.75 before the bust point. Okay, so make sure your curve doesn't go directly to the bust line. All right, so this is what we have now, and you can see that everything is coming together. Now we need to make sure that these two sides are equal. If not, you're going to have shortage. All right, so I'm going to measure one side to see what I have there, and to also check on the other side if we have shortage or we have more. All right, so I'll go ahead and just gently measure what I have. On the other side, I think I had was 4 point something or 4 inches. I don't know, but if you watch closely, you can see what I have there. That was just a little difference, but it's always important to check. All right, sometimes you might have more and sometimes you might have less. So for the difference, I just went ahead to mark it, which is just very little. Okay, after marking that, you're going to connect from one point, that's from one of the that leg to the center front, that is to form or to create our sweetheart neckline. Okay, so it depends on the shape you want. At this point, you can go ahead to just restyle. Okay, so this is just what I have, or this is what I want. So I eventually came down by 5.5 inches. Initially I did 5.25, so I wanted it to just go down a little bit, and I'll just go ahead to connect. Now after connecting, we're also going to connect for the other side, and that's just a very simple thing to do. Okay, so I know I've said plenty. Okay. I'm sorry guys, I'm just used to that. I always want to make sure that you understand what I'm explaining. Now before we do the other side, we need to get our armhole curve. Now for us to get our armhole curve, we divide our armhole line into two to get the midpoint. Okay, after getting the midpoint, you just go in by 0.5 inches, and then you're just going to mark that. Now on the chest line, that's the extension on the armhole line, that's our chest line. You're just going to mark your bust measurement divided by 4, and that's what I did. So you're going to connect from that half inch to that bust measurement, and then to the tip of the shoulder, or is it to the tip, to the end of the shoulder. So having done that, it is now your choice to create how the neckline you want it to be towards the armhole line. You guys have to just connect from there directly to, like, curve it directly into the armhole, or you can decide to like curve, like do it in a way that you're going to probably, make like have a demarcation between the armhole. Or it just depends on what you want. Actually, you can just connect, just freestyle however you want it. There is no formula for this, it's just what you want. So I'm just trying to explain also in the video that you can decide to create this or connect directly to the armhole. Okay, so it depends on what you want, but for me, I'll just make like a slanted line. Okay, I'm not connecting directly to the chest line, so this is what I want. I don't want to connect directly to the chest line. Okay, so but for you, if you want that, if that is what you want, please just go ahead and do that though. There is no formula. All right, so this is what I have now. You can see how our bustier is already coming together and is looking pretty. Now Remember that anywhere you remove something, you have to replace it, okay? You have to always replace. So I'm checking what I have there on that tightening we did on the overbust. We'll call that overbust. I think I did about 1.5 inches, so we need to replace that. So that line, that's my curve that I did towards the armhole. We're going to just extend that line out by 1.5 inches. That is the 1.5 inch we used to tighten that place. We have to replace it so that we don't have shortage after sewing, okay? Even if you don't have shortage, always replace what you removed. You can always, it's always better you have excess than to have shortage. So after doing that, this is what we have. This is now our new armhole for now, okay? For now, we still do a little thing on it. For now, this is our new armhole, okay? So I'm just trying to explain that anywhere you remove something, please go ahead to always add it back, okay? Now on the bust line, I'm going to go ahead to mark my bust divided by 4. Remember, we've already marked it. We've already marked our bust circumference on the chest line. All right, so it's always important to also mark it on the chest line and on the bust line. Now on the under bust, you're going to divide the under bust by 4 inches, okay? Now when you divide your under bust by 4 inches, you're going to start, see how you're going to start the measurement. All right, why we are doing this is so that our under bust is properly tightened and we don't have any excess. Now from the beginning, I measured what I have there, which was 3.5, and then I put that 3.5 at the beginning of the other darts. I don't know if you are seeing what I did there, and I'm going to mark my measurement. So I'm omitting the darts. I am not going to replace the darts because I'm not adding the darts in my measurement. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say or what I just did now. I did not add that dart to it. So let me go over it again. I measure from the edge to the dart leg to one side of the dart. What I have there is 3.5. I took that 3.5 to the other side and took my measurement on the side, okay? Now this measurement, the dart measurement or the dart allowance is not added because I did not add that in my measurement. So the dart is not added, and you're not going to add any dart allowance anymore because we are assuming that we did not add that. The same thing I did on the underbust, I will also go ahead and do it on my waistline. So that is what I did. Now on that chest line, remember we removed something there, so you have to also check what we have there. I think what I have there is 1/2 inch, so I'll go ahead and also replace that 1/2 inch on the chest line, okay? And then I'll just recurve or reshape the armhole curve for the chest line. Now if you don't understand what I did on the underbust and the waistline, please just go ahead and watch several times as much as you can to understand. But it is a very simple trick. It is the most perfect way I know how to do this, because you don't there is no room for excess, okay? So the only thing is that you have to measure, divide your bust or your wherever the circumference by 4, measure what you have on one side and continue from the other side. Make sure and then complete your measurement. Start from the beginning and check what you have, continue from the other side and input your actual measurement, and that is it. Now the only allowance you're going to add is just your sewing allowance, okay? And if you want to add any same allowance, you can go ahead, but you're not adding that allowance again because you did not add it in our bust or in our measurement, okay? Now this is what our bust looks like. I've gone ahead to also recurve the armhole. Now if you know how to take your measurements correctly, this is not a new thing. So I'm just calculating, like my front waistline is 3 inches while my back is my front waistline is 16 inches while my back so I think my front is 17. Yes, my front waistline is 17 inches while my back waistline should be 14 inches. So I just minus the work from this, I minus the back from the front, and what I have was just 3 inches, which is on my under bust, okay? That's why I told you, if your bust that is wide, is very wide, you don't need to contour so much on the under bust, so it is easy for you to close or to sew your bustier, and it is not too deep or too curvy, okay? So after closing that, I went ahead to just reshape my measurement, and that's it. I just go ahead to cut out, and you guys just watch the whole thing. So now after cutting out, this is what we have. Okay, I'm just trying to measure what I have like on that armhole line to see how much I'm also going to go out for the back. Now at this point, you guys have to cross check your measurement. Okay, now if you measure this, you can see that this is my underbust, the exact measurement for my underbust. Okay, I did not add this that on my allowance, and I don't have to add it. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to add there is just my seam allowance, or my sewing allowance rather. For the back, I've gone ahead to do my basic measurements. For my dart, I used 0.75 on both sides, which is 1.5 in total. And remember, the waistline for my dart, that's the waist length or half length for my back, is not the same length for the front. Okay, so that is why it is shorter. And I also marked out 2 inches for my, I think it should be 2 inches or 1 inch for my zipper allowance. Okay, we are going to work on that after now, or before now, after now. So after doing that, I just went ahead to cover out my neck depth. Okay, so remember this thing we did, or I checked for the front. That is, remember that for the front, the cleavage we had was 7 inches. Okay, so we want to make sure that this side for the front matches the side of the back. Okay, so that is why I am marking that. So from the shoulder, I came down by 7 inches on the front, for the front. So that's what I also did here. If you forgot what you came down from, you can just, on the chest line, just check what you have on the front, and then just do the same thing on the back. And that's just what I did. And then I'll just connect all the line. Okay, I'll just connect the line. So now I'm just connecting or extending that chest line. Okay, so that's our chest line. So on that chest line, I'm just going to connect that to that line we came up on the side. I'm just going to connect it to the chest line, although I think I eventually came like contour that back, the chest line. I think I still went down a little bit more or something. So for the that, I decided to just extend it up. So while I eventually the back, that you can see that on the up side, I did like a straight line, because we are not using yoke for anything for this, and obviously it's going to be open, so you need to contour that part. So I, after contouring it, I also extended that point for us to reshape or replace the thing we contoured on that part. Okay, so the basic thing is, when you remove, or when you remove something, you replace it back, and that's what I just did here. Okay, so I'm just going to reshape the chest or my armhole line. Okay, and after doing that, I'll just go ahead to reconnect or recurve my measurements. So it is very simple, it is not a big deal. Now after doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and extend this line. That's the back. I'm just going to extend it to the zipper side. So we need to contour our zip contouring. Now on the center back, I came in by 0.75. That is for my zipper contouring, and I'll just connect from the tip of the back, and let's just connect it to that 0.75. If you watch my basic gown or my basic bodice, you should know how we do this was. And then I'll just go ahead to mark out my zipper allowance. At this point, you can mark as maybe how much you want for your zip. If you want 1.5, 1 inch, 2 inches, however you want. So for me, I marked 1 inch for my zip allowance. I'm just going to go ahead to connect it. So by the time you make your dress or your clothes, if you finish doing this process, there is no way your cloth is going to have zipper bulging. So I'm just going to label it as my zipper, and then just go ahead to curve, to just cut out. I think we're done. And yeah, you can decide to cut out your darts if you want, and then just sew it in pieces. But for me, I didn't want to cut the dart out, so I'll just go ahead to fold that dart, because I don't want to sew the dart on the fabric. So that is what I just going to show you guys, but it's optional. If you want to sew your own dart, you want your clothes or your back piece to have a dart line, please go ahead and cut it off, or you can still leave it like this, cut it like this, then you sew the dart on the fabric like that. Okay, if you don't want it to be in pieces, that's what I'm still explaining. If you don't want to cut, it is your choice. So we've come to the end of today's tutorial. If you want to see the sewing tutorial, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment in the comment section, and we'll be uploading the next tutorial, which is the sewing part.